Hi, I'm Jared Logan with the Stream of Blood, and this is GM Toolbox. In this series, we're going to show you how to mix and match rules from various tabletop role-playing games to make your campaign better and more fun, stronger, faster, the perfect organism. That sounded kind of erotic. Okay, so the situation is you've asked your friends to play your favorite tabletop role-playing game, and they're excited because you've promised them that there's going to be action and drama and adventure and a chance to live out their fantasies, and then you put a character sheet in front of them and you say, okay, now do math for 3 hours. This is bad, and it's bad for several reasons. You know, it can be hard enough to sell your friends on playing these games. These games sometimes involve a lot of work. And if you spend 3 hours at the top of your first session just kind of doing character math, your game may lose momentum before it starts. Because when you're doing paperwork, you're not having fun. You're working, not playing. Luckily, there is a solution to this. You need to turn character creation into a game. And you can do that in 2 ways. You could use random character creation, or you could use life path character creation. And in these 2 videos, we're going to talk about both of these ways to turn character creation into part of the game. Today, I'm going to talk about random character creation. This is really surprising, but in old Dungeons and Dragons, like in the 1980s, like 40 years ago, characters were built by rolling dice. You rolled 3d6, and whatever number came up, that's what you got for your strength, dexterity, con, wisdom, intelligence, and charisma. And believe it or not, people thought this was fun. They weren't getting optimized characters, but they still enjoyed making the character with just a random die roll. How is that possible? Well, it's fun because, first of all, random character creation is exciting. There's a chance, not a huge one, but there's a chance you could get a very powerful character, a character with higher stats than most of the other characters. Every roll is a risk, so the process of character creation has suspense built in, the suspense of the die roll. You know, every roll, it feels like character creation is a night at the casino. It's challenging because once the character is made, you need to have good strategy and tactics to be able to play a non-optimal character. If your character has low strength or low dexterity, they're not going to be the optimal character to take into a dungeon, but if you're smart, you can help them survive and get better at those things. Finally, random character creation is creative because you've got to take these random numbers you've generated and you've got to interpret them and turn them into a story, turn them into a character. You come up with a story about your guy based on those rolls. And if he has a strength of 7, maybe you go, well, he had a wasting disease when he was very young. But he's still going to be a good ranger, I swear. He just needs some time in the outdoors, in the fresh air. You can apply this sort of random character creation and stat generation for any game that you play. For example, in Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, try rolling a d4 for all of the stats for your vampire character. But Jared, that's going to mean that the character maybe has 4s in like 6 of its stats. Cool. So that sounds fun. You get a powerful character. Jared, that means I might have a 1 or a 2 in some of my stats. Yeah, that's interesting. That's a weakness that you get to play, that you get to try to overcome. It's going to require strategy and it's going to require tactics. Are you up for it? I mean, if you're a great player, you should be able to surmount. Is that the word I'm looking for? Surmount? You should be able to overcome that difficulty. And you don't just have to use random rolls on the stat part of character creation, you know, the generation of attributes. Try rolling for your class in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Try rolling for your occupation in Call of Cthulhu. You could roll for the cyberware your character has in Cyberpunk Red. And in Blades in the Dark, your entire team, your entire group of players could roll to see what kind of crew they're going to play. Adding that level of randomization brings surprises. And what we need to understand is when we are playing a game, surprises are the part that is fun for us. In my 2.5-year long Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign, everybody rolled their class. They didn't get to choose what class they were going to play. It generated a weird party. We ended up with a monk, a paladin, 2 warlocks, and a sorcerer. Is that an unbalanced party? Is that too many spellcasters? How are we going to differentiate the warlocks? These were all creative challenges that generated an interesting conversation with each other during the character creation process. It made us step outside of our comfort zone. It made us play the game while we were creating characters instead of all silently sitting and quietly filling in forms together. Because that's what we want to do when we play a game. We want to play, not work. In a future video, I'm going to explain how to use life path character creation as another way that you can turn the character creation process into a game. In the meantime, if you like what you saw here, please subscribe here on YouTube. We stream 3 times a week on Twitch, so you can see some of these ideas and techniques in practice on our live streams. And if you've used any of these techniques or you have your own ideas about ways to make character creation into a game, please feel free to sound off in the comments. Until next time, happy gaming, you son of a bitch.